Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you're having a fantastic day slash night. Today's video is going to be a story time video, so sit down, get some popcorn, get your favorite drink, and enjoy the video. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my most prized possessions in TF2, and an item that comes dearly to my heart. Some of you may already know what I'm about to talk about, and that item is... drumroll, it's gonna be the strange professional killstreak double-spelled Australian rocket launcher. And yeah, that was a mouthful. You may be asking yourself, how can a rocket launcher cost that much and why? And what makes this one different from the other Australian rocket launchers out there in the market? Well, I'll tell you the story. The story of how I got a $1,200 rocket launcher for less than quarter of his price. A quick information before that, for those who doesn't know what spells are in TF2 and why the heck are they that expensive nowadays. Well, spells are items that you used to get long time ago, that you can apply them on a weapon or a hat and they will do different effect depends on the spell itself. So because they have been long time ago, they have been discontinued and they don't exist anymore. And the only remaining of them are the spells that have been applied on the item. And you may see people selling them for a higher price, asking sometimes double or triple the amount of the item cost based on the spells that in those items. And that makes them highly rare because they have been a thing since 2024, that's like 10 years ago. And because of inflations and, you know, a bunch of trader hoarding all of them out, the prices are very expensive. So I don't really recommend you go after a spell item unless you truly want to and can afford. So you can kind of see where these outrageous price tags comes in. About 5 years ago, I met one of my best friends in TF2 and his name was Heaven Guardian. And he has been playing the game a lot longer than I started. I started back in 2015. I think he somewhere started in 2012 or 13. I'm not really sure because that event happened years ago and I haven't been talking with him in a while. However, I still have them up my DMs, so maybe I'll shoot him a message and see how he's doing. Anyway, he used to come around my stream back then when I started streaming on Twitch. And when I say I started streaming, I mean I was small. I was barely above 200 followers, I think, and I had like 3 or 2 chatters on average. Very different from nowadays, which made me look back on these days and actually smile and see how long I came through, you know. But anyway, we hit it off well and he supported me a freak ton back then, gifted me a lot of subs. He was a big trader back then, and I remember telling me that he has his money from trading mostly, and he has a side job. So he has a favorite rocket launcher that he always used in the game, and can you guess what that rocket launcher was? Yes, it was the same one we'll be talking about in the rest of the video. However, the catch is that he actually applied those spells, and he actually applied the professional killstreak kit on a rocket launcher, giving it more sentimental value to have it back then. And I remember asking him for a long time ago, are you gonna sell that rocket launcher? And the answer was like no, because I thought it was one of the most beautiful items and I kinda wanna buy it for myself. Yeah, and you can see how was it back there with the item, and he will never sell it. But you may ask me, how did I manage to get it from him? Well, I'm gonna get into it. Long story short, I started working in McDonald's back then while I was in school training to be a nurse. And I had my own Australian rocket launcher back then that I've held on for a while. And I remembered a while ago my friend Heaven disappeared for a long period of time. I didn't hear from him for a long time. I remember typing him some messages and pretty much waiting like days, if not weeks. And when we got back in touch, he told me that he wasn't doing well financially and had to sell almost everything in his TF2 item possession. And believe me, he had many of decent items back then. I remember he had a golden pen as well, which used to be worth about 800 keys. Man, that price was insane. I mean, looking now, the frying pan worth about 700 to 8,000, no, 7,000 to $8,000. That is huge, hugely different from the prices back then. But it does explain itself how prices get inflated over time. So he hits me up one day while I was doing the laundries. I hear my Discord notification, I pick up the phone and I see this message. Hey Svi, I have to get a lot of money for rent and I have to sell my rocket launcher. And I was wondering if you can buy it since I don't want to sell it to someone who's just gonna resell it. And when he sent me that message, I was really in shock. Because when he told me he wasn't doing well, I was like, imagining something like a small, maybe a little bit of money that he owns, maybe one rent he's down a rent, and I didn't really expect him to be in such a bad situation that he has to sell one of his favorite items that he talked about all the time. And back then I did have a job, but I didn't really have the money that he asked for. So I told him I can afford it if he lets me pay it for it monthly. And surprisingly he agreed. I sent him my old Australian rocket launcher so he can sell it on Backpack, and he sent his. And he trusted me and I trusted them, and over the course of a year or two, every month I'll be sending him about 20 keys plus, I think. I'm not really sure how much. But I remember back then on marketplace.tf you could use the code UNCLE and you get like 11 keys for the price of 10, which really helped a lot back then. So I paid him and we went on for about a year or a year and a half, I think, paying him monthly. I also used the money that I got from Twitch, which helped me a lot as well. And that really basically how I got that rocket launcher. And this was like about 5 years ago. That was such a long time. Even if I click on my rocket launcher history, I cannot really find the date that I actually acquired the item. I'm pretty sure if I search my trade history I'll find it, but I have to scroll endlessly and I personally don't want to do that. So personally, since then it has been and still my most expensive item that I own in TF2, going for 500 to 575 keys on marketplace.tf after the massive inflations over the period of 5 years. And to think that I got it for like quarter of that price sold for today, it makes me really happy. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I'll never really sell this rocket launcher at all unless I leave the game for good, or unless something which is very likely to happen, if for example the game died. But I really hope it never does, honestly. TF2 is my absolute favorite game and I believe it holds such a value, not just for me but like to thousands if not millions of people out there. And that's pretty much it, how I got this rocket launcher. And if you like the story, please let me know what you thought of it. And if you want me to tell you other stories about other items that I've got, or maybe other topics even, it doesn't have to be TF2 items related or related to TF2 at all. So feel free to suggest them down in the comment below, and do leave a like button and subscribe if you're new. And if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to let me know. I'll try my best to upload weekly if I could. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and have a good one.